Thank you very much. Bahut shukriya. And I also welcome our very respectable I will also request Professor Atta Jan to please join us on the stage. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm also grateful to Muhammad Ali, advisor to the Prime Minister on privatization, for joining us on this very important session. So, formally starting this, inviting our august speakers to have a reflection on this very important book. First of all, I will request I can expect that you can see that favorable evaluation that may also be struggling. For example, that 3 hours and it may be hardly 5 to 7 students. Okay, so when we see that we have these dwindling reading habits in our society, and when there is a book launching ceremony, so it's a hope, it's a ray of hope for me, and surely for the people like you as well who are here to enjoy or to experience this hope as well. And second, with respect to this, that we can see that there is at present that ongoing, inconclusive, and possibly uncertain debate with respect to artificial intelligence and human. A very interesting reflection in the literature that yes, it is going to, like for example, 2030, that artificial intelligence experts are looking at when will be entering into super intelligence era, an era where artificial intelligence that will be more intelligent than humans. Its ability to articulate the ideas and to think better than humans. But one thing that literature is signifying that artificial intelligence may not be able to replicate the wisdom that the humans have. And here I relate with the second aspect of this book, that is communication. So our ability to communicate through, that is wisdom, having wisdom, that's only possible with humans. With this, please allow me to start this ceremony, and I will request my very respectable audience to take the seat. And I am inviting with the order of the appearance with respect to that how they will be addressing. So first of all, I will request Professor Dr. Mukhtar, Vice Chancellor, National Skills University, please join us on the stage. Sir, please. Then I will request Dr. Vaqar Ahmed, economist and public policy expert, please join us on the stage. We have also in the list Dr. Javaid Laghari, who will join us online, and I am grateful to him as well for joining us. Then I will request Professor Dr. Zafar Uddin Ahmed, President. Online. Okay, he will also join us online. He already joined. He's on the... Fine. And then I will request Mr. Imran Ghaznavi, the author, and fine. Okay. And then Shehzad Ahmed Malik, President, Institute of Cost and Management Council of Pakistan. Thank you for joining. Senator Syed Ahmed Sarmat surely join us shortly. And then I will request Mr. Muhammad Ali.
He's on joining.
Okay.
So I would like to request Admiral Asif Sandela Sahab to join us on the stage. Sir, please. And Sir, Federal Tax Ombudsman Asif Jah Sahab, sir, please join us on the stage. Sir,
Good morning, and good morning to all of you. Honorable Advisor to the Prime Minister and a galaxy of excellencies in this historical hall. I warmly welcome you over here. I want to take the name of everyone, but believing in equity, equality, and empathy. So, I think just imagine that I have given my respect and regard to all of you. But there are 2 people who are joining online, so I think that is a minority. So I can definitely warmly welcome Dr. Javaid Laghari, former chairperson of the Higher Education Commission, and Dr. Zafar Ahmed, one of the very distinguished professor in marketing, A very warm welcome to all of you. I am Professor Dr. Mukhtar, founding Vice Chancellor of this university. And this hall you are sitting over here, this was completed in September 1985. I took the charge of this university in 2019, and there used to be, if you can understand, because this was closed, बड़े-बड़े जाले हुआ करते थे इधर, और मुझे बताया गया कि नीचे कब्रिस्तान है, ये इनकी रूहें इधर हैं, जिसने भी हाथ लगाया that will go underneath this one. So everybody was scared. Nobody wanted to touch this one because all these buildings, they were closed. There were hundreds of stray dogs over here in those days. So one day I come with my colleagues, and there were few because I was the first employee of this university, and then people start coming in. So a couple of people were staying over here. I tried to, don't touch it, don't touch it. Your life is very important. I said, you know what, kullu nafsin za'iqatul maut, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. If I have to leave, I am going with this one. So we start, like there were people, we start pushing these down. And thanks God, this hall is over here. I'm very thankful to you all. You are sitting on these chairs. These chairs were fixed in this hall in October 1986. But in 2020, I was told these chairs are not good. I told my ministry, I said, listen, my country need, lot more other things. I can humbly request my very distinguished and honorable guest to sit on these chairs, and I will invest my money in somewhere else. That is, skill learning programs over here. I know we are here for a very noble cause. That is the launching ceremony of a book by Mr. Imran Ghaznavi, Reputation Management and Crisis Communication. Imran Ghaznavi is a great scholar, great friend, and above all, a great human being. I have been discussing with him, throughout his journey of writing this book, and I asked him, we will do the pre-launching ceremony of this book also over here. So we did the pre-launch also over here, and it's a blessed day, so we are doing the launching ceremony also over here. I will just say a couple of more words. I know, there are, अगर मैं बात करूँगा इस book के बारे में, तो ये सूरज को चिराग दिखाने वाली बात होगी. There are a lot more other very illustrious colleagues who know much better than I. They will be talking about this book. But I would just want to say a couple of words about this university. This is the only university in the country that is recognized by the UNESCO for skill education. None of other university in the country has such a great honor. This is the only university in the country that has been invited by the European Union to be center of excellence. After completing these 3 years, it will have the stature like any European university, इसकी कुर्सियाँ ज़रूर पुरानी हैं, इसकी labs, there are issues, but it has such a beautiful set of lab that we can fabricate a car over here also, And I know starting from one person, we have assembled a group of excellent faculty members, but unfortunate situation. I served in US for 22 years. मुझे जब कोई अच्छा प्रोफेसर लगता था तो उसकी सैलरी वो अगर जाने लगता था तो मैं उसको कहता कि यार आई एम गोइंग टू डबल योर सैलरी. पाकिस्तान में हम ग्रेड सिस्टम के साथ काम करते हैं बदकिस्मती से. वी डोंट हैव सच लग्जरी इन द पब्लिक सेक्टर. तो हमारा टर्नओवर बड़ा क्विक रहा है. प्रोफेसर्स कम्स एंड गॉन बट दे कंट्रीब्यूटेड. आई अप्रिशिएट द कंट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ एवरीबडी हु कम ओवर हियर. Some of them, they are working in this NEOM project. Some of them, they are working in UK. Some of them, they are working in a very high-impact projects. So, but कुछ ऐसे हैं जो मेरे हम सफ़र हैं. I am very thankful to them, and I am very thankful to all of you. I warmly welcome you on behalf of all my faculty, all my colleagues, all my students, because students, they are enjoying summer vacation, you know. But we all are here, and great morning, and welcome to the, I think, launch ceremony of this great book, so about which we have all gathered over here. Well, welcome again. Thank you, Ji.
Dr. Saab, thank you very much for informing us about the wonders that this university has under, and you developed this one very much. Thank you very much, sir. Now I invite our very respectable professor, Dr. Zafar Ahmed, President, Academy of Global Business Advancement. He's on online, and he will reflect on this book. Ji, please.
Respected guests, fellow academics, corporate leaders, members of the diplomatic corps, media leaders, and champions of the Pakistani civil society. It's an honor to be here today at the launch of an intellectually rich and practically relevant book. And the book is titled sector offered by our esteemed colleague, Mr. Imran Ghaznavi. Let me begin by congratulating Mr. Imran on his outstanding contribution to the academic and corporate community, and the book that does not merely provide reputation, but brings it to life through real world science, institutional case studies, and timely analysis. At AGBA, our mission is to bridge global academic thought with business practice. This book is a prime example of that bridge. It offers a clear, practical, and evidence-backed understanding of how organizations, particularly in emerging markets such as Pakistan, can navigate today's hyper-connected, high-state communication environment. The quotation is not a peripheral concern only. In fact, in the 20th century, it is the central essay of any business. In a world where news travels faster than facts, there is still social media posts and dismantling years of productivity, and where trust is more fragile than ever. This book is not just timely, it is essential. Mr. Imran Ghaznavi draws from his rich and diverse experience in Pakistani government, regulatory bodies, international communications, and corporate sector of Islamic Republic of Pakistan. He brings to the table more than just academic research. He brings life experience. He brings national and global incidents not as isolated crises, but as powerful lessons in leadership, communication, and institutional resilience. From crisis preparedness to stakeholder communication, from managing disinformation to building trust, this book lays out the clear playbook that has been fulfilled by the CEO, communications director, and public policy leadership team goals. The value of the book lies not only in what it teaches, but how it teaches. The language is accessible, the insights are actionable, and the research is rooted in reality. For academics, it opens a new road to research. For practitioners, it offers tested strategies. For students, it's the learning manual that connects to real practice. And the corporate world increasingly confronts unpredictable challenges, whether they be
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Zafaruddin Ahmed, President Academy for Global Business Advancement, for these very profound remarks about this remarkable, equally remarkable work by Mr. Imran Ghaznavi. And along with many important points that you highlighted, definitely it is not without exaggeration that this is a wonderful work by Mr. Imran. And at the same time, that this book, as you mentioned, that research rooted in the reality very much. Thank you very much again. Now I will invite our next respectable speaker to comment on this, very profound work in the form of this book. And our next speaker is Dr. Javaid Laghari, former Chairman, Higher Education Commission of Pakistan. He will also be joining us online. Dr. Javaid Sahab.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, scholars, corporate leaders, and students. In particular, my good friend, Dr. Mukhtar, Vice Chancellor of the National Skills University, a wonderful man, a distinguished academic, and a real scholar, Mr. Imran Ghaznavi, who has been my very good friend since my days in Islamabad, and a wonderful media person, and of course our distinguished guests who have honored his book launching ceremony today. Assalamu alaikum to everyone, and in particular to all the students sitting in the audience. I think it's a wonderful occasion for the launch of the book, which is the Reputation Management and Crisis Communication, the study of the corporate sector. At the Higher Education Commission, during the tenure when I served, we were always struck with finding good textbooks, particularly in the business management program and the various education programs in the country. The curriculum committee would meet every 2 years, and they would usually have to rely and resort on imported books and books written by foreign authors, which were not relevant to the Pakistan society, to the Pakistan academics, and to the Pakistani corporate world. And I'm very glad that this particular book is going to be filling up the gap that we have sought and we have yearned for so many years in terms of communication, in particular in the corporate world. And this book in particular actually focuses on crisis management, which, as we see today in the real world, especially with the advent of social media, where anything that happens, you find a tweet that is posted even by world leaders in the United States, and actually you see President Trump. You do not hear his policy coming out from the White House, but first you hear it from the street account. Likewise, now most of the corporate leaders are relying on social media to communicate, how the market trends are and what's happening with those companies. So this book in particular fills up a very important gap which was taken over by the social media. The corporate leaders, the university leaders, the students, the postgraduate students, and particularly the scholars, those who are doing research in the world of crisis management, would find this book as a very useful reference material, and in it would be enough pressure that many of our PhD students can actually build up on creating scenarios and creating communication trends that are more suitable to the Pakistani society at large. We have also now moved into a different world in the last couple of years, and that is the world of artificial intelligence. And because of artificial intelligence, the society at large now is exposed to so many unreal stories and news that it is difficult to differentiate between the reality and what is fake. So this book, again, as you go and scroll through the pages, you will find that it becomes an extremely handy tool to be able to understand how these different tools, whether these are through social media or these are through artificial intelligence and fake videos to be able to distinguish between the different communication trends that are now being a modern day. So, Mr. Imran Ghaznavi, I will tell you this is a wonderful book and a great gap that you have filled in the academic community and in the corporate world, and I would like to congratulate you for publishing this book. Thank you again and giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saab. We are really grateful for this very scholarly reflection, not only on the book, but also the significance of the book in the era that is the challenges brought in by social media and the artificial intelligence. But at the same time, that the people in my age, we can also recall that the lived experience that you gave as an example of, we can recall that your decision, very important decision, while you were as a chairman, HEC, and how you stood on your decision and the communication that you did at that time. So we can very much recall, and surely we are also grateful to this favor as well. Thank you very much again, and moving forward, now I will request my very dear friend, Dr. Vaqar Ahmed, who is also economist and public policy expert as well, to reflect on this one. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Arif, Honorable Chair Mohammad Ali Saab, and distinguished panel. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's such an honor to be here. Let me first of all start by, of course, thanking Dr. Arif for filling in as the moderator for today's session at a very short notice. So thank you very much, Dr. Saab. And none better than yourself to moderate the proceedings today, given that you have your own research on this subject as well. So we couldn't have found a better MC here. Congratulations, of course, are due to the distinguished author Imran Ghaznavi Saab for bringing us together over here. And not only that, I see many friends here who have joined, so I must thank Imran Saab for bringing friends together as well, which is difficult in today's busy world, especially those who share the passion around this subject that we are discussing today. So I would like to thank all friends present over here for being partners in this mission. I think I would like to talk about the central thesis of the book, which is important to understand. And it is so important that this is being discussed in probably one of the key and major universities of Pakistan, which is that corporate reputation is a non-financial asset, and it can be measured. I see this as the key message that Imran Saab has tried to bring out. Reputation is usually termed subjective, objective. People tend to use it in different notions. Very rarely is it is taught as something which is measurable. It's a non-financial asset for the corporate sector, and there are smart goals around it. There are key performance indicators around it. It's a whole science that needs to be taught. And this is what he brings out in his book. And I'll probably, when I come at the end of my 5 minutes, I'll probably end on this as well. I think the second point that he makes in the book is how reputation leads to credibility, but also premium worth. The hard work that he has put in is around studying history of those companies, and he has presented those case studies. Not only somebody should be responsible, so that over time people develop this acumen within companies, within firms and brands. And then I think in one of the key chapters that I encourage colleagues to read, particularly those who are attempting their dissertation on this, is how crisis communication is practiced more as an arbitrary thought in our companies. Whereas crisis communication, we do this director level course, which is very well curated and organized under the auspices of several organizations. But those director level trainings now need to have crisis communication for the board, for the executive, for the senior management, for employees, and for investors and shareholders in those companies. And this is how you will embed the entire curriculum of what Imran Ghaznavi Sahab points out in his book, into their education, into investor education, into leadership's education, into board's education. And I think this is probably far more important now, given the concept of reputation under digital governance that he talks about. It's a digital world, and digital world has its own threats, its own issues around credibility. So he goes really into those ground level realities that leadership needs to manage now. So it's not the crisis communication of 60s, 70s, or 80s. It's crisis communication that one has to perform at hyperspeed now. And for that, you may not even have time to consult the senior leadership or senior leadership to go back to their comms team and discuss. There have to be SOPs in place that should come into motion as soon as the crisis strike. And that's a key message around communication and digital governance that he puts in. I appreciate the way Imran Saab has connected PR theory with corporate governance, with the linkage of stakeholder capitalism, which again talks about trust. And I think I would tend to end on this note that while a lot of the messages, case studies that he has spent a lifetime collecting, yes, they talk of C-suite executives, they talk about lessons for C-suite executives, and large number of examples come from the private sector. I, being a student of macroeconomics, see a lot of lessons for the public sector in Pakistan. And I think the book has to be part of our Civil Services Academy, National Institute of Management, other sector-specific academies for civil service, because civil service remains a key instrument of development administration, and they would be the first responders of a lot many crises that Imran Saab talks about. And I'm so glad that Muhammad Ali Saab has given time today in his current portfolio and previous portfolio during the caretaker regime. I think he met a lot of challenges related to SOEs, as we call them, state-owned enterprises. And a large part of the challenge around state-owned enterprises or PSCs is around how we communicate their challenges, restructure them, and more so now, if we have to offer them for divestment or privatization, how do we package the branding around those state-owned enterprises? So with this, I once again congratulate Imran Saab and thank you all for your patient listening. Over to you, Dr. Arif. Thank you.
बहुत शुक्रिया Dr. Vaqar, and in future I will doubt that if people put only you as economist, you are very much in management sciences as well, because if we look at his reflection on the book from marketing perspective, he talk about very important thing, that the branding, that so far if I can see, my understanding about branding is that it's such a, it is like a living organism, it's breathing, it is giving signal, and it is also receiving signals as well. And here is the point with respect to communication and giving the idea of non-financial assets very much. It is a technique used in, a term used in marketing. And at the same time, as he mentioned, that it is not only the frameworks but also the examples as well. And in research, we used a very interesting term, that claim and evidence, that here you are claiming and here your evidence as well. Therefore, as he mentioned, the book very beautifully used this particular approach as well. And finally, not finally, that there are, along with many other important points he highlighted, that characteristics of a leader, that this is a very important characteristic, that when the things go off the script, that how the leader is going to take care of from that point. So thank you very much, Dr. Vaqar, for very interesting reflection. And now, here is the time to invite our very respectable author, Imran Ghaznavi, who surely burned his possibly hundreds of midnight oil in order to write that particular wonderful book. So that would be great to listen his story behind this book. Yes, Imran sir, please. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First, I would like to thank Muhammad Ali Saab, Minister, Privatization, my ex-boss. You know, always there a love lost between ex-wives and ex-girlfriends, but Muhammad Ali Saab is my ex-boss. And Dr. Vaqar, Shahzad Malik Saab, FTO, Honorable FTO, Asim Ahmed Saab, Ambassador, Dean of Diplomatic Corps, Ada Jan Saab, Admiral Asif Sandila Saab, former Chief of Naval Staff, Dr. Mukhtar, August, Shagir Bashir Bhai is M&A, Shaista, mashallah, she's former chairperson, Competition Commission, and now member, Nadra Board, Salman Amin, member, Competition Commission. I see my very dear friend, Asif Jalal Bhatti. And all August, I'm sorry, Mukhtar Paris Bhai and Admiral Shafkat. Parvez goes long back, but 40 years friendship. So Admiral AVM, Sarfraz Khan, and all of you friends from media, thank you very much for being here. I will not talk about the book. I will talk about the pain which I've gone through and how my story began of writing. I used to write articles for the newspapers and my blogs. From conception to inception to delivery, it's indeed a very painful process. We had 35 drafts prepared before it went to the publisher. Again, after that, we had about 7-8 drafts of editing. And there was a point when I started to, when I see, whenever the next draft comes in, I see, no, I don't want to read it. You know, it's just was like, well, I had it enough. But we did a research, and it started, I did my MBA thesis on reputation management about 15 years back. And this reputation management journey started from there. So I wrote 5 case studies of my work. One is for Competition Commission of Pakistan, one is SECP, FBR, AGBA, and one is Honda Pakistan. In these 5 case studies, I was myself involved. And these case studies are not typical academic case studies. I took the incidents and then dissected them from my lens of reputation management and crisis communication, and I basically laid down a framework and structured it, what are do's and don'ts, and how we can move forward. So this is all book is around this. Then and my main contention, Muhammad Ali Saab, because you understand the corporate governance, and you yourself was a regulator and is a regulator, that we need to focus on reputational risk management for corporate boards. And the specialists from strategic communication should be part of the corporate boards, because reputation comes with transparency, credibility, and trust. And today, if somebody tells you to drink Nestle, you will go for it. And if the same water is packaged in Sufi, you won't buy it. So that's my major contention. I would like to once again thank you very much. I won't talk about book because Dr. Vaqar has basically summed up everything. Dr. Javaid Laghari and Dr. Zafar Ahmed I think they are the stars, and I am nothing. I'm just entering into this field. So I would like to thank you, everyone, those who are here, and I wish you great reading if you wanted to read the book. Thank you very much.
Boy, shukriya, Imran Saab. Thank you very much. That the person who did some, like for example, a PhD thesis, he or she can understand well what do we mean by 35 drafts. Honestly, that it's a lot of work. And as I said that before inviting him, there are many midnight oils that he has burned, and it's also good to see that you're also an MBA as well. So we can see the spark of this business in your. Fine. So moving forward, and let me invite our next guest for his very valuable remarks. And I will invite Mr. Shehzad Ahmed Malik, President, Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of Pakistan. Shehzad sir, please. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Mr. Mohammad Ali Saab, Advisor to Prime Minister on Privatization, Government of Pakistan, Senator Sayyid Sarmad Ali Saab, Dr. Mukhtar Saab, Dr. Vaqar Saab, and President FTO, Dr. Asif Ali Jah Saab, my friend Asif Jalal Bhatti Saab, Salman Amin Saab, Sayyid Mubashir Ali Saab, and ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, ambassadors, diplomats, colleagues, friends from the corporate and academic worlds, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum, and a very good afternoon. It's both an honor and privilege for me as a part of Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of Pakistan to join you at the launch of profoundly important book, Reputation Management and Crisis Communication, a study of the corporate sector by Mr. Imran Ghaznavi. Let me begin by congratulating my friend Mr. Ghaznavi on this timely and much needed contribution to the corporate knowledge base of South Asia. His work is more than a book, it is guidepost for the decision makers, boards, executives, and communication leaders navigating the stormy seas of public reception and perception, corporate accountability, and crisis response in today's volatile world. In an era where a single tweet can do and undo decades of goodwill, where misinformation can travel faster than facts, and where trust, once lost, is nearly impossible to regain. Reputation has become a company's most valuable intangible asset, yet it is often the least understood and the most poorly managed. This is where Mr. Ghaznavi's work becomes so critical. His book provides a rare blend of theory, practical frameworks, and real-world crisis studies, all rooted in the context of South Asia. Corporate culture, regulatory framework, and stakeholders' expectations. The regional grounding of what sets the book apart and make it directly applicable to our boards, CEOs, and compliance committees. Ladies and gentlemen, corporate reputation is no longer the sole domain of marketing department today. It is a matter of strategic risk management and therefore a core concern of the board and audit committees. As a professional in cost and management accounting, we understand that value creation is not just about financial performance. It is about sustainability, trust, and stakeholders' confidence. A reputation crisis can wipe out market value overnight, undo investor confidence, and irreparable damage brand equity. At ICMA Pakistan, we have always championed the cause of better governance, risk management, and ethical leadership. The book supports that mission, and I believe should be part of the reading for boardrooms, C-suites, public sector leaders, and academic across Pakistan and the region. And I also like to refer this book to our education committee and our director training program, which we are doing on the platform of ICMA to use this book as a case studies. I would like to commend Mr. Imran Ghaznavi not only for the depth of research and the practical insight in this book, but also his very long contribution to strategic communication in the public and corporate sector. His perspective is shaped by hands-on experience and intellectual rigor. In conclusion, this book could not have come a more relevant time. It is a wake-up call to all of us and corporate world, the repetition highly critical for building trust and credibility. Let us embrace the knowledge, incorporate the lesson, and move forward future where credibility, transparency, and accountability define our corporate entities. Once again, congratulations to Mr. Imran Ghaznavi, and thank you all for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Image. बहुत शुक्रिया, Mr. Shehzad Ahmed Malik, President, Institute of Cost and Management Accounting. As you very rightly mentioned that it is very important but equally poorly managed as well. That while living in a competing narrative, in the world of competing narrative, so we can't afford a poor show on this communication side. And finally, now it's the time that I should invite my chief guest of this ceremony, Mr. Muhammad Ali, advisor to the Prime Minister on Privatization, Government of Pakistan. Dr. Sir, please.
Wallet up with him? A lot of money inside, huh? Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Respected Vice Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to all of you. Generally, when you are the last, it's not easy because a lot of content is already shared with the audience. But I think it will be injustice to the occasion today if I don't talk about the book. And I've gone through the book myself, so I want to share with you because I think a lot of you will not have the opportunity probably to read it. But before I begin, it's an honor and a privilege to be a part of this book launch by Imran Ghaznavi, who I've known for the last 15 years now. Our friendship and our professional relationship started in 2011 when I was serving in SECP, Security and Exchange Commission of Pakistan. SECP was my first public sector job. Usse pehle I was in the private sector. And I distinctly remember, and that's something that Imran is aware of, during my very first month in the job, a big private sector say an individual is coming, heading a government organization, and in the first month, we came up with a decision which was in the public interest, it was bold, and it was uncomfortable for some stakeholders. Little did I know that bold decisions sometimes carry a price with it, with them. The next morning when I woke up, I remember it was a weekend, and one of the national newspapers attacked me personally on personal grounds, based on false information. And I was reading this and I thought, what could I do? And it was like a very helpless kind of thought, emotion, right? Because I knew that this news item is based on false information, there's no fact-checking involved. And I also knew that there will be no accountability. That's the worst part. Because globally, jahan par print media hota hai, electronic media hota hai, if there's any false information, the courts and the law enforcement agencies have got systems of accountability, and it's not very easy to malign anyone on false pretext. Unfortunately, हमारे यहाँ हम आज तक उस चीज़ को इतना develop नहीं कर सकें. So I was thinking before coming here, obviously it's been 15 years, what was the learning at that time? When I saw that, I took myself 15 years back. And I think there were three important learnings. First, that experience taught me things. I realized that these are the things that I have not learned in the classroom and in the boardroom. These are like real life experiences. So one has to go through it at times. So if one can avoid experiencing these and one can learn from the book, literature and other people's experiences, so one can avoid these damages. The first thing I learned was that reputation, and the book also talks about it, is like capital. It is sacred. It can be hurt very easily. It is fragile. It is hard earned. and it can be destroyed by a mistake very easily. So that was the first learning which I went through. The second learning I realized, which I just touched upon, कि हमारा justice system अभी तक इतना mature नहीं हुआ है. There are efforts being made. It is not as efficient and effective that it will punish people who use their power to engage in false narrative. I don't think Pakistan में defamation के अंदर अभी तक किसी को कोई major penalty या कोई भी penalty award हुई है. I went through a case myself, so my lawyers told me, and I said, if the defamation prove हो गई है, so why don't we sue the other party? Once I have won the case, उन्होंने गलत किया था, so let's sue the other party now and claim damages. And I remember it was like 7-8 years ago, and I was told that there's no precedence of awarding damages in the country as of now. The third insight was that, and that insight obviously took a while, that if one is doing the right thing, one should not worry, one should not take stress. It's easier said than done. आज भी अगर कोई भी इंसान अपने बारे में चाहे जितना ही तजुर्बेकार क्यों ना हो, कोई नेगेटिव न्यूज़ पढ़ेगा तो उसको स्ट्रेस तो होता है. But one has to learn the skill of not worrying, but at the same time, one needs to develop the toolkit and the skills to manage the reputation. And this is why we are all gathered here to talk about this issue and the book, in the light of the book. I just want to zoom out a bit, and if we look at Pakistan at a national level, हमारे यहाँ बड़ी बात करते हैं जी brain drain की. We are losing our talent. A big part of the reason is that the salary levels are much higher in the region. However, among many factors responsible for brain drain, one of the reasons is that it is difficult for companies and individuals to be able to protect their reputation if they are under attack, because the justice system is not as developed. They are subject to false campaigns, and when professionals realize or feel that they can be attacked or their reputation is at stake, then a lot of them do not join the public sector. One of the reasons, and we have seen this, बहुत सारे professionals आए public sector में लेकिन छोड़ के चले गए. So reputation management is extremely important. If the system is still maturing, it is up to each individual to learn how to do it. Because the law enforcement, as far as the defamation is concerned, is still weak in Pakistan. So it is in this background that today's conversation and Mr. Ghaznavi's book is so important. In a world today which has real-time judgment and there is lightning fast disinformation being spread through various social media and other platforms, we cannot treat reputation as only an image. हम कहते हैं ना, it's only an image. It's not just an image. As I said earlier, it is capital, and that capital is strategic, it's measurable, and it's essential. So it is in this spirit that, being part of this book launch by Mr. Ghaznavi, Reputation Management and Crisis Communication, I'm honored and privileged to be here. Though the book focuses on the corporate world, I think it is equally applicable to the individuals as well. And I was thinking while reviewing it, okay, what are the important lessons which I should share with the audience here? And I think there are three important lessons which I would like to share. And it is obvious when you go through the book that a lot of effort, and I don't know how much time has gone into it, but I'm sure because you're already working, you have a full-time job, day job, so you must have put in many hours and late evenings in compiling this. It is evident from the research which is involved. It is also evident from the original thought, because research sometimes is relatively easier than coming up with an original thought which contributes to the literature. If you look at the research part, Mr. Ghaznavi has not only highlighted why reputation matters, rather he has demonstrated that through real-life examples. And those real-life examples are based on deep analysis, and those are related to some of the giants globally. For example, the book talks about Apple's careful brand stewardship in the United States. It talks about Volkswagen's hard lessons after the emissions scandal. It talks about Samsung, and I think someone touched upon the mobile company. It talks about Samsung's handling of crisis in Asia. It also talks about Nestle's, and I think Imran talked about Nestle and some other water brand. Nestle's experiences with ethical challenges in Pakistan. So they're real life examples which show us, which rather lay the foundation of why reputation matters. And then, and each of these example is based on compelling arguments and blueprint. It talks about the missteps and how these companies were able to turn the situation around in their favor. It also gives us a toolkit for being prepared for strategic communication and how to protect the perception and the reputation. Besides talking about why it matters, I think there are three important learnings which really benefited me, and some of these resonated with me because I've gone through this over the last decade or so, being closely associated with the public sector. So there are three learnings which I want to share before I end this. First is, there's a framework, and the framework is based on connecting the reputation with an individual's personal skills, which are primarily natural, and the experiences which we gain. And there are four traits which the book talks about. One is leadership, second is ethics. Now these two are primarily natural, but we all learn as we age. The third is digital transformation, and fourth is governance. So the framework where reputation management can be handled better if one develops the leadership qualities, one is on the path of right ethical values, the governance system is being put in place, and one takes advantage of digital technologies. If you have these four qualities come together, it helps you develop a framework which will help you manage your reputation better. And I think there's a lot of learning in this framework. The second big lesson for me was the three-phase model for crisis management, and it revolves around pre-crisis planning, real-time response, and post-crisis recovery. ये बड़ा simple सा model है, frankly. किसी भी चीज़ में पहले planning होगी, once you are stuck in a situation, you have to handle it, and there is the post-recovery. However, it's very simple, but it is very helpful in how you strategize your thinking and how you structure the organization. Which department will take care of the pre-crisis planning? When the trouble is brewing up, how do you handle it? And how do you manage the situation post-crisis? So I think that model was a big learning for me in thinking and strategizing when to act and how to act. The third important learning was a few tactical and action-oriented steps which every organization should employ. And there were four which stood out. One was organizations need to incorporate regular reputation risk briefing at the board level. Board level pe generally hamare paas and globally also there are investment committees, HR committees, audit committees. However, the reputation management, I think that's something which should be an essential part of board discussions. So that's one message in the book out of the four messages. The second is the reward of the executive should be directly or indirectly tied to how the image and the perception and reputation is managed. It should be made a part of the overall performance evaluation at the senior level. The third is every organization needs to have a pre-drafted response, a playbook for high-risk scenarios. It may not apply to smaller organizations, but once an organization is medium to large, that playbook is very, very important. And fourth, we need every organization and even individuals at senior level need to prioritize fact-based and honest communication. So these are the learnings in the book, and I was reflecting, Dr. Vaqar also said, about how these learnings are applicable to my current portfolio, which is privatization and Pakistan's privatization journey. Frankly, it is extremely relevant for my portfolio, and I'm sure for most government ministries, if not all, because as far as privatization is concerned, investor confidence jo hai, it is not only related to numbers. Investor confidence is based on trust, on credibility, and on resilience. These are the values which are highlighted in the book, And these are the values which require constant management by every ministry and every government official. And that's what will benefit us in our own work. So a bit about the book. In the end, thank you, Dr. Mukhtar, and the National Skills University for hosting this event. I think there's linkage between academia and other stakeholders is extremely important for everyone to learn and appreciate these efforts. And in the end, Imran, congratulations to you for all the hard work. And frankly, I remember, actually Imran and I just remembered, the first time we talked about not reputation management, Imran had this passion to set up a perception management ki company. I remember it was 2013 or 2014 when we talked about it, after my SCCP days. So we were sitting once. Acha. I remember we were having chai in F11 at some dhaba over there, and he talked about it. And I said, yeah, reputation management, yeah, this is not a business, it won't make money. And you can have digital communication, content management, media, advertising. These are the things we talk about when it comes to marketing and media. But he made it a reality. So congratulations to you for frankly contributing a very essential piece of literature and a book which is frankly globally relevant. We will all benefit from your 3 decades or 4 decades, I don't know how old you are, of experience and expertise and learning, which you have encapsulated in the form of this book. So congrats to you. Thank you, everyone, and wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, sir, for this very deep reflection on the book that also suggests that you must have gone through this book in very much detail. And in line with your reasoning or thinking in terms of 3 points, that it's thanks for informing us, a very important point, that it was never in our understanding that reason behind brain drain could also be that a poor reputation as well, or people challenged with respect to their reputation management. Second important thing that you very much highlighted, that reputation is capital in nature, is accumulative but highly fragile. And the third important thing that we can also understand the challenge that you have been experiencing in the time of mistrust in our society. So communicating about the motives behind privatization and the possible benefit that we can have from this privatization, definitely it's a very, very challenging task that you have been doing so wonderfully. And just to close this ceremony before we can have this distribution of the books as a prize and some prizes as well. So I will invite Dr. Syed Hafiz Ahmed, Registrar, National Skills University, for the vote of thanks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Advisor to the Prime Minister on Privatization, Mr. Muhammad Ali Saab, Mr. Shehzad Ahmed Malik, President, Institute of Cost Management Accountants of Pakistan, Dr. Vaqar Ahmed, Economist and Public Policy Expert, online Professor Dr. Zafar Ahmed and Dr. Javaid Laghari, former Chairman HSC, Honorable Vice Chancellor, National Skills University Professor Dr. Mohammad Mukhtar, respected faculty members, distinguished guests, dear students and ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. As we come to the conclusion of this remarkable event, it is my honor and privilege to extend my profound vote of thanks to all the distinguished guests. But first and foremost, I express my deepest gratitude to Imran Ghaznavi, the author of this thought-provoking and timely book, Reputation Management and Crisis Communication, a study of the corporate secretary. Your work offers clarity, deep insight in a complex world, and today's lunch marks a meaningful contribution to the field of communication, leadership, and trust building. This book is a valuable guide, and resource for leaders across all sectors, especially academia. To all of us, this reminds us that trust is fragile and communication is our most powerful tool in preserving it. Sincere thanks to our distinguished guests, faculty members, colleagues, and participants. Your presence has made this occasion truly special for all of us. To the organizers and support team from NSU, thank you all for your tireless efforts in making this event a success. Finally, on behalf of this remarkable book, the author of this remarkable book, Mr. Imran Ghaznavi, and the Vice Chancellor, National Skills University, Professor Dr. Muhammad Mukhtar, I extend my profound gratitude to all of you being with us today. We really feel honored. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Dr. Zafar Saab. And now I will invite Imran Ghaznavi Saab to announce for this handing over the books. लेकिन वो मैंने अनाउंस भी करना है और फिर बुक भी देनी है